Hello, New Wave of British Heavy Metal.com here. Today is the 21st of March 2021. If I may make the usual opening request for a favour, and that's if you would please subscribe to the channel, that'd be excellent, certainly appreciated. And today we'll look at Bebop Deluxe, the marvellous Bebop Deluxe, and their final album from all the way back in 1978, Drastic Plastic. Because it's just been given the well, let's call it a spruce up, and a remaster on a double CD package that includes a mountain of bonus tracks as well. Came out a couple of days ago. Had to get my hands on it, and it's marvellous, marvellous stuff. So you get the original album as it was in 1978, a new stereo remix on the second CD. Over the two CDs, you've got 14 bonus tracks. In the case, there's a replica tour poster and a really excellent, informative, and quite long essay in the booklet that was written by Bill Nelson himself, giving the story and his recollections of the recording of the album, which took place in France. I think they recorded it in 77 and it was released in 78. Now, Bebop Deluxe were one of the first bands I got into when I discovered proper music as a teenager in the mid-1970s. I can still, over 40 years later, I can still remember buying Live in the Air Rage with the EP in it, if anyone else remembers that, because it wasn't quite a double album, was it? More like an album and a half. And not long after that, I still clearly remember also buying Drastic Plastic when that came out from, of all places, the local Asda, because they had a small record section at the time. I was in there one day with my parents doing some shopping, and there was Drastic Plastic. Bang, I'll have that. And to this day, so well over 40 years later, Bebop Deluxe remain one of my favourite bands. And in my opinion, and I'm sure I'm not alone here, Bill Nelson is one of the underrated guitarists anywhere, anytime. The man does the lot. He's fluid, effortless, he's powerful, melodic, he can do the big stuff. Oh man, the man is just a monster. For me, he's up there with Donald Rosa or anybody else that you care to mention. It's what a player. And if you're an old Bebop Deluxe fan like me, yes, it's true. Bebop's previous albums, leading up to Drastic Plastic, were much more guitar oriented, given Bill's undoubted prowess. But each album saw Bill getting progressively more experimental, and that would come to the fore here on Drastic Plastic with the introduction of the synths and whatnot, and a more electronic style that it was leaning towards. But that superb guitar work is always there, and Drastic Plastic, it's a fine album and much underrated in my opinion as well. Electrical Language is like a electronic hypnotic opener as it peels along. New Precision, bit of an ethereal feel to it, yet that does rock along really nicely with big riff and some excellent short but stabbing guitar work. Some really fluid stuff going on there. New Mysteries, another stabbing effort. Surreal Estate is well, what shall we say about that? Well, surreal. And it's quite a switch in style and a bit of a fun track, I suppose. And the oddity here being that the drummer, Simon Fox, doesn't actually play the drums. He plays kitchen pots and pans. True story. Read the book. Love in Flames, brutal, fast riff, big rocker, speeds along, powerful stuff. Panic in the World's got that nice chugging riff, a big hook. Came out as a quite successful single, which I've still got upstairs somewhere. Then Dangerous Stranger, that's probably the finest song on the album. Another big rocker, fluid riff, big chords, some excellent measured solo work from Bill. Marvellous stuff. Super Enigmatics, quite short, and again it's a bit experimental, but Bill delivers it with some venom and some rather prophetic lyrical content, given today's, I believe it's called the Internet of Things. So that's Super Enigmatics, bit weird but different, and say prophetic. Visions of Endless Hopes is next, which is a nice gentle acoustic based affair. Though I'm sure, if I remember rightly, on the version of Drastic Plastic I bought all the way back in 1978, Japan was on the album and not Visions of Endless Hopes, but I might be wrong there because I don't have the vinyl anymore. Got lost over the years. Next up is Possession, another one of those fine cutting rockers that Bill does so well. It's bit feels a bit like Dangerous Stranger. And then the Haunting Islands of the Dead closes it out. Fine album overall. Then we've got 9 bonus tracks, and that includes things like Lovers Immortal and Speed of the Wind, which and one or two others, which were recorded for an EP at the time, which never came out. So you've got all that. On the second CD is a new stereo remix of the album, and yet more bonus tracks, which are single edits of Panic in the World, Electrical Language and Love in Flames, and a couple of unreleased tracks as well. And then, well, overall, it's a fine reissue, remastered, double CD, loads of bonus tracks, can't go wrong, classic album by a classic band. It's marvellous. That would be the end of the road for Bebop Deluxe. Bill called time on the band after that. And he wouldn't be out of the limelight for long because he came back soon afterwards with his Red Noise project. Now that's excellent as well. And although Red Noise was a one album shot, it was a fine album in its own right as well. And I understand that that's due for the remastering and reissue treatment as well. So I'll keep an eye out for that and put it up on here when that comes out, all being well. Hopefully that might not be too long. But in the meantime, Drastic Plastic, what a reissue this is, what a package. I mean, as I bought this as it came out only a couple of days ago, considering this is quite an expansive double CD issue and all the rest of it, it was slightly cheaper than you pay for a normal album. I think I paid 11 quid for it. So you can't really go wrong, can you? As always, there is a link below in the description that'll take you to this set on Amazon. There's also a link back to the post on the website if you'd like to read that. Please do both. Please also subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. That would be excellent. And as always, thanks for watching, thanks for listening, and take care.